Alright, good morning everybody. We're going to do another install tutorial video. This time we're going to be installing Linux Ubuntu. Ubuntu is just another friendly version of our Linux operating system, free operating system that you can download and install on your computer if you so choose to, don't want to use Windows. So I'm going to get started by opening up VMware Workstation is what I'm using. So I'm going to just execute that program, bring it up. So there it is. And I'm going over here and I already have a version on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new virtual machine. And this one is going to be an installer disk that I actually have in the drive right now. So I'm going to use it instead of a network install. And when my students do it, they typically use image files, but this is just another way of doing it. So I'm going to hit next. I'm going to go ahead and give it a name, and this one I'm just going to call Linux Ubuntu, and then I'm going to just give it a username. I'm call it Debbie Hunter. My password, I'm going to put something in there. Actually, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it William.Hunter. Well, kind of standard with everything. Let's see, invalid username, so it won't take that, so I've got to do what I was doing there. That's what I thought. There we go. So that's good. It'll be a 64-bit version of Ubuntu. Next, I'm going to leave the file size defaulted at 20 gigabytes. That would be the maximum size that the hard drive would be able to get up to on this particular virtual machine. And I'm going to store the file as a single disk file. Hit next, and I'm going to leave everything else defaulted. And I'm going to click finish. Give it a minute because it's got to read it off of that drive. It's taking its own time there. There we did a little restart. Now you see the code up there at the top for Linux, ISO Linux there. Now, when you're doing this install, it's going to be a little bit different than probably what you're used to because, well, Linux is different. But if you just kind of read and follow the prompts, you should be able to get things going. There's some screens that are a little odd in this install where you got to kind of move things around with your mouse and the little cursor there in order to go ahead and move forward. And so some of those pitfalls, if I see them occur here, I'll try and point out to everyone. Probably not something you can hear on the video, but I'm hearing it since it's installing off a disk, and the disks in these computers are kind of like the disk drives that are in laptops. They're little flimsy drives, and so it's making all sorts of noise as it's doing its install. Kind of a slow process so far, nothing really to see yet, but it's eventually gonna start showing us some screens in the user interface there for the install anyway. So now here's one of our first little screens. So you can see this one's kind of a purple and red blend look. Different. So there's a little install box, progress bar coming up. And this one should pretty much walk us through things kind of like Windows does, but again, it's a little different. So it's kind of laying down partitions on different drive there. This little virtual hard drive is doing its little thing. The thing about Linux is some of the rules that you've learned for Windows, Linux kind of doesn't work the same way. A lot of the commands and codes and installing things, doing all of that, it's just a little bit different. Welcome screen finally. Welcome to Ubuntu. It's fast and full. Has new features. Latest version makes computing easier than ever. Here are just a few cool new things to look out for. So I guess essentially what I'm looking for is to show people that may have never even have thought about this or looked at this that you can try new things. You can install this as a standalone program where you don't have another operating system on your computer, or you can actually have it running with Windows or whatever other version of software you might have running on your computer, typically Windows there. You just choose which one you want it to boot to. I think the first time I used a copy of Linux, it's probably been a good 15 years or so. Back then I didn't think it was as easy as they've kind of made it now. Now they've kind of automated things a little bit differently and kind of made things work similarly to what we're accustomed to with Windows. It's just that everything you see here is open sourced. And as you can see, they're advertising, how they give you a player for music, and there's a picture program that you can do that, and there's different software to manipulate photos and things. One thing that Linux does do is they bundle the Firefox web browser in with their operating system, so that's your default web browser. And me personally, I use at work everything. I have Safari, and I have Firefox, and I have Chrome, and I have well, on one machine I have an old version of Internet Explorer. I don't really use it very much. I use Microsoft Edge. Let's see, I have Opera. Trying to think, do I use any others? That's probably all of the web browsers that I use. So I have about everything. And then here on the screen you see the Office package that they send you with Linux. This is the Libre Office package, which you see 3 files right there. They're equivalent to some of the programs that Microsoft or Google would have, which is essentially like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. They just have a different name, and they look similar. So they kind of give you tools that you can utilize in the same way. If you want to do a paper, you'd use Writer. If you want to do a spreadsheet, you use the other, PowerPoint. And here you see a capture of a screen that see how you change your background and your appearance, and that's kind of analogous with what you're more than likely used to working with Windows. that support screen for a little while. Starting to retrieve and put some files on there. This process may take a little while because it shows it has over 100. Nope, it finished rather quickly. status bar right down there at the bottom. It's getting ready to start something. You see the little icon was there. So we've got a reboot here of Linux. And it just spit the disk out at me, which is good. So now it's going to ask me for a password, and that's one of them that I defined earlier. And the thing to remember is if you put one on there, you better know what it is. Now that was with the DVD CD install. I don't believe you'll get asked for one with the ISO file across the network, but I may be mistaken. So it's going to take it a minute to come up. So you see what version it is. It's 17.04. Ah, here we go. Thus comes a desktop. So you can see some of the different functions that are right here just by hovering over what things are. You save, trash, Firefox. So that's it, and I will end this video now. Thanks for watching.